Hi, living in Boulder, vlog March 15th, 2020, Sunday. It's 5:30 p.m. I um I kind of just got up. I was working a little bit here, doing the QuickTime's doing transfer. QuickTime can only do transfer on one dealio at a time. If I try to do two, it'll shut down the other one, and sometimes shut down the program. So then I have to restart with the first dealio. Dealio number one got less than a minute to go right now, and then I drag it over the other one into it, and then hit go and paste or whatever. I won't do it while I'm on the video. But I had kind of a disaster, like a disaster of a day yesterday. A very unfortunate circumstance. Let me tell you what happened. It basically tacked on a whole new day to getting these things. I think I could have organized these books. I think I finished. I split them up and I finished them on the first computer, and now on the second I don't think I have that much. I think definitely will finish it today. Getting converted the new books. I think it's like 165 that I downloaded off of LibriVox. And just the final batch. I wanted to include all the poetry and specific history stuff. I discovered a list of books made by various writers. So it was 46 pages worth. But the problem was the biggest collection out of all of them had 72 called nonfiction collection. Obviously, I want that nonfiction history. And long story short, oh no, I touched my face. Oh my God. Long story short, I re-downloaded and reconverted that whole fucking series twice. Because what happened was, it was first on my phone, and I had it until 63. And then I saw it again, and I said, is this the same one? Is this not the same one? And I looked at what I had. I looked at what they had. What I had was 63, and what they have is 71. So I guess since I uploaded it once, they did 7, 8 more. I think the last time I checked it out was like 2 years ago. And that's because I did add another batch to my website like 2 years ago when I was working on this briefly. I don't even know how long. It's just a guess. But the years freaking meld together. I'm high right now, so but whatever. My tolerance is high right now. I've been smoking weed. I should have bought more weed the other day, so I have to go back in the goddamn thing in there and get coronavirus. I should quit smoking weed because it'll give me the coronavirus. I feel like I'm the person, if I get coronavirus, I'll die. I'm one of those people who won't survive if I get coronavirus because I already have really bad asthma. So, and like whenever I get a fever, and I haven't gotten fevers very much at all, but whenever I get slightly sick, my asthma gets really bad. So I'm like scared shitless. My roommate is, plus my mom's 78, and I hang out with her all the time. My roommate is a clerk, and he's not very clean anyway, and my room's already my whole house is nasty, so I'm just like, holy shit. I went into the 7-Eleven at like 3 o'clock this morning because I wanted a hot dog and a Slurpee. I'm back into getting fat, baby. And but the Slurpee didn't have the toppings like the tomato and the onions and the little pickles. And so I asked the guy there. He could barely speak English. He was from India, but he said something about, yeah, coronavirus. Got to be like more clean and stuff. So I had to have a hot dog with mayonnaise, mustard, and ketchup. I'm normally a vegetarian, but you know what I mean. When I'm like doing something like this, stressed out or whatever. So what happened was, yeah, I looked at it and I looked 63, 71, but then I looked at something else and I decided, yeah, not to replace it. But then, because I remember thinking to myself, yeah, oh, great, all these I don't have to do. Skip ahead. And so I skipped ahead, but somehow they ended up downloading anyway, and I have no idea how that happened. And once they downloaded and it was on my computer, I just mindlessly converted everything. And so I converted 71 when I already converted 63. And these were really long books they had to do in batches, and it took forever. So it was like 6 or 8 hours of work just on that. So I didn't freak out though. I mean, at least I got this final 8, put that on. And that was right at the end of the day when I was about to crack. So then I did a couple more things and then cracked. So I was kind of wasted a lot. But I don't know how that happened because I do specifically remember in my head going, oh, cool, I get to skip all these. And I skipped them. I went ahead and I went, all right, there's a few pages I don't have to do and get through this. And then I kept going. But then next thing I know, they're all downloaded. So I must have like gone to the restroom and come back and like forgot about it when I started before. I don't know, but it's just unfortunate. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing. I've been just converting, because when you download from LibriVox a book, it comes back like this book, right? For example, right now it has 5, 10, 15, 17 different chapters. It's called Lord of Housetops, and you can't download it as one file. They give you 17 different files. So what I have to do is with QuickTime, I just play one and then I highlight the other ones and I drag it onto it and then I convert it and name it and convert it, and it takes like a couple of minutes, depending on how big his book is. And if it's a huge book, I have to drag it in sections and then convert it. And you can only do one at a time. And sometimes I forget and I open up another one, I try to drag it and then it freezes the other one. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do today. And then once I get it done, the way that I organize it, let me explain really quickly how I organize my audiobooks on my free audiobooks website. I organize it by, because I organize different things differently. Like, for example, the books, the actual books on my website that I have that are on my education page, those are organized by date. So it's a timeline / book list. And so that's why it's not alphabetical. So if you go to my website and you want to read the Bible, you can't go down and be like, okay, A's, B's, doesn't work that way. You have to go like, okay, like, so, and I have it also organized by, stages of the empire. So of Rome. So, the left, it's Republic, and then you have empire, and then post empire, and then, yeah. And so, and then those go down chronologically. So you have to remember which one it is, like the Bible, that's post empire, and then you have to go down and just go down and find it, But that's why when I want to look for a book, it's not a big of a deal because I know it's there, so I just Control F, and then it takes me right there. But I like having it organized by date because it forces me to memorize the timeline, and I'm into the timeline and history and timeline, so I scroll down and I don't have trouble finding stuff. And if I can't find it, then I'm like, all right, let's do this. I have to learn it. So then I go down. It helps me remember when it was. So, and it's great to know it on chronologically. All these books chronologically, because they're all referring to guys before them. You know what I mean? So you if it's below the other one, the other one might be talking about him, but then he might be talking about him. And so then on my free audio history books, it's not organized chronologically. It's organized by size, because it helps you give you an idea of which one is more important to people in history, and which ones have more important generally, countries, based on how many pages they have. So, but of course, all that's going to change after I get all this new batch on. But the way that I organize it, like for example, if it's a page, subjects page, and then there's general history, which is the first section within the subjects page, I would just get on the book and I go, okay, which sections does it go in? Then I drag it into that section, and then I can, because of the conveniency, because before I was having to do math, it was insane. It was even before I was even having Siri do math for me, so I was like typing it in. It was insane. So this time all I have to do, because it's always converted all into one file, I just go info. It tells me how many hours it is. I just copy it, and then I paste it. You have to take the colons off, replace them with nothing or commas, because you can't put that in names. But then, or you just copy it from the info right onto the website, and then based on time, because I was organizing them based on how many pages the books were, or if you don't have that information, how time it is. So you just look at the time and you just plop it in a spot. And in the numbers, of course, you have to renumber all the numbers after that. But and then you have it all organized. But of course, you have to renumber all the numbers anyway, because you're putting most likely multiple books into new sections. So you number it, and then it's all ready to go on the computer, and then that's where you enter the new ones in on the website, and then you would renumber it. But I don't know how fast. It'll be a lot faster than when I built it, because the computer's so much faster. Before, the pages were so big, it just took forever to load and everything and to respond. But now I can go, I can redo the numbers, I can do everything, in the math. So maybe I can get done with this page. I have to align the computer with the website, and both of those with my cell phone, and then the cell phone's not going to be able to take everything, so I have to decide what to cut out the cell phone. I'm going to cut out novels from America, novels from England, which are actually already on there, and then what I'm going to add is just strictly historically related stories, like the nonfiction collection and other stuff like that. And then if I have extra space, I'll throw novels on there. So But by then, I'll be able to have like more memorized in my head what everything looks like and what is available to me, what I listen to, and I'll be start to get going. So maybe I'll start training then. But now's the perfect time to just focus on this because everybody else has put everything on hold anyway. All right, under 10 minutes. Talk to you tomorrow.